ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin. This is Teddy. It is way too hot here today for the velvet jacket, so I won't be wearing that, but don't worry, it should return next time, unless it's super hot again. And today we're going to be talking about the Func, yes, I learned how to say it properly, or pronounce it properly, the Func HS-260 gaming headset. So let's jump right in then with the specs. So this features 50mm drivers, which are tuned and paired. It has a closed acoustic construction. Frequency response is 20 to 20,000 Hz. Impedance of 32 ohms. Cable length of 3 meters. I have the cable here. It's detachable, obviously. We'll get to that in just a sec. But yeah, so very long cable. I have it tied up right now just because, you know, it's a very short distance, so I don't need a huge long cable. So you can tie it up, but it's braided, has a nice orange on it as well to kind of liven it up a little bit. Overall, I think it's quite nice, quite a good cable. It takes 3.5mm jacks at the bottom here, so you have the detachable microphone, so you can run that on either side if you want to, which is quite cool, an interesting feature. I guess it's useful maybe for some people out there. So that's cool, and obviously your audio cable just goes in the other side, the side that you don't have the microphone in. Now dimensions and weight. So it's coming in 180 by 105 by 194 millimeters. And weight wise is coming in at 0.37 kilograms or 370 grams. Weight wise, that's about, it's a little bit on the heavy side, I'd say, compared to other things out there. But overall, it's not too bad, honestly. It's not too heavy or anything like that. It's just a little bit over that kind of like normal mark. It's just a little bit heavier. That's the way I'd put it. So, looks-wise. Honestly, to me, these only look okay. But I'm going to add a disclaimer at the end. So, these are pretty stock looking for the most part. You know, you got the black on the side, your grey across the top. And it just looks kind of uninspired for the most part, considering the price these are coming in at as well. It makes you wonder a little bit. But on the flip side of that, it does have chrome around the sides here, which you can see, and also some up by the headband, which kind of try to spice it up a little bit. But looks-wise, for a somewhat, I would count these as a premium headset, just for price-wise what they come in at in New Zealand anyways. It is kind of, that is going into the high end of gaming headsets. It doesn't really do that much for me. However, at the same time, you notice there's no blue, there's no red, there's no green, there's nothing like that. Well, I mean, there's orange on the cable, but for the headset itself, it's quite good in the sense that it will go with everything. A lot of people just like a more basicer headset in terms of colors and stuff like that. So that it will go with all their peripherals, and if they change peripherals, it's gonna be fine. So in that sense, it's quite good. Now, comfort-wise, so comfort around the ear cups was absolutely excellent. They're very thick. They're very, yeah, they're just very nice in general. I really quite like them. These are the cloth ones right now, and it does come with another lot, which I will just grab here. So there's these leather ones as well, which you can use. Comfort-wise, honestly, I didn't notice too much difference with them. It'll just be kind of personal taste, whether if you rather have the cloth ones or the leather ones. By default, it ships with these cloth ones on, which I quite like. But yeah, switching them around isn't too much of a deal. It's quite easy, and it's just rare personal taste. I think maybe the leather ones give you a bit better noise isolation. But maybe they decrease some of the audio quality a tiny bit, but honestly there's barely any difference between it. So it's just more preference, I'd say. This is me personally, which one you'd rather have, the cloth or the leather. There's not much clamping force though, so you know, they don't really, that's kind of good and bad. It's good in the sense that some headsets that you wear, they clamp way too much, and you get that kind of discomfort around your ear, or maybe on the ear itself. Depending how shallow the ear cups are. But at the same time, ones that don't clamp run into the same problem this has, in the sense that the headband becomes quite uncomfortable. So the headband itself has a lot of padding, but it's very, very stiff, and I didn't like it in the sense that it weighed quite This is a little bit on the heavy side too, so it weighed quite a lot on the top of your head, and I didn't like that. So comfort-wise, for me personally, I mean, it's only after you use it for a while as well, a headband. It's not like when you first put them on, it's like, oh god. It's not like that at all. And maybe all this will soften over time, but yeah, I honestly think it gets maybe like a 7 out of 10, if I'm being generous, in terms of comfort. For the fact that ear cups wise, it's very good. You don't get any discomfort around the ears, but then the headband isn't very good. So maybe in their next model they'll revise this headband and make it a lot better. Or in the future, every manufacturer needs to know that having a nice, comfortable headband is a really good thing. When you use Siberias, you kind of get used to having, you know, how they got the suspended band across the top. That's really, really good. So you kind of get used to not having that much weight there. So yeah, comfort-wise, 7 out of 10. Still pretty good effort, and it's going to depend on the size of your head, obviously, and other things too. Now, sound quality. So this is where it really shined. The sound quality is absolutely tremendous. Honestly, the bass is really, really good. It's just a very, very full sound, and I had absolutely no complaints whatsoever. It doesn't sound tinny. It doesn't sound bad. Everything sounded great. Music, games, movies, everything was perfect. Honestly, I had no complaints with the actual sound quality. However, I did have a complaint in the sense that, because as we just talked about, there's not much clamping force. I mean, that there was not much isolation, even with the leather ear cups on. There's not much noise isolation at all, so you can really hear, if you're in a noisy environment, you can really hear that stuff around you, or someone else playing a game beside you, or watching a movie, something like that. You can really hear it. So that wasn't too good. Maybe someone with a bigger head, it'll clamp more onto a bit better, and then you'll get that better noise isolation. But yeah, so a bit of a letdown there, but the sound quality itself was very, very good. I was very, very impressed with it. Now the mic quality, was, I thought it was decent enough for most people, but as always, I'll let you guys judge for yourself. This is what the Func HS-260 microphone sounds like. So I think it's pretty good for the most part. It's also bendy, so you can set it to be quite close to your mouth or far away, depending on what you're going to be using it for, or how loud you're going to be speaking, I suppose. And it also has a mute button on the bottom of it, so it's a nice addition also. And we're back. Now moving on to build quality. So as you can see, there's quite a decent amount of flex in it. So this one's going to be quite hard to explain to you guys, my opinion on it, but I'll try my very best to. So build quality wise, it feels strong, like in the sense that it doesn't feel like it's going to break anytime soon. However, it feels quite loose at the same time, and like that's a good thing in the sense that it doesn't feel loose and like it's just going to break. It feels loose in that like it's got a lot of flex there, like these things can be thrown around a bit, or you know, anything like that, or jammed in a suitcase full of other things, and they're not just going to snap because they're all crushed against other things. So in that sense they're really good. But in the same sense, it means they don't feel as premium because there's so much flex. Everything's so loose, everything has so much movement in it. It just doesn't have that premium type feel you get. Like, it doesn't feel like very like solid and sturdy, but it feels strong and flexible. It's very hard for me to try to explain it to you guys, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from with it. So it's it feels, I'd say it's well built, but it doesn't feel premium. That's the main point. Well built, but not premium. And for this price point, I would kind of start to expect that it would be a little bit more premium feeling, and be built using more premium materials. You know, this is just plastic fantastic the whole way around, aside from the tiny bits of chrome. So that's what I'd say. It's just not. It's going to be strong. It's probably not going to break on you, but it doesn't really come off as that well built. That brings us now to the conclusion. So looks-wise, it's just okay to me personally. It's pretty uninspired. It's pretty basic looking, but as I said, it'll probably go with everything. Comfort-wise, the comfort with the ear cups and that was absolutely fantastic. Lots of cushioning, felt really good, but the headband was a bit of a letdown, so that wasn't too good. Sound quality-wise, was the sound quality itself was just fantastic, very good. No complaints, honestly. It was just really, really, really good. The sound isolation, the noise isolation, that was pretty average and left a bit to be desired. The mic quality, as you heard, was pretty decent for the most part. I mean, it's going to get you by for everything you probably ever need to use it for. And build quality wise, it's, you know, strong, it's sturdy, it's probably not going to break, but it's not made out of premium materials, and it doesn't come off as that premium or extremely well built, because everything's quite loose, which is nice because then it fits a little bit better. And obviously it's strong, things that flex a bit will not break as easily, but at the same time it just doesn't have that premium feel. So I'd say overall, I'd say it's pretty good for the most part. It does most things pretty good. Maybe looks wise, which it only does okay, but everything else it did pretty good. So it is a pretty good headset. That's what I'd say the conclusion is. However, with the prices coming in at, I'd expect a bit more than just pretty good. So with these things at their full price, I'd maybe, you know, I would still recommend them because they are still pretty good. However, my consumer advice to you guys would be definitely to wait for these guys to go on sale, and then definitely pick them up. You know, sale of like, you know, even like $20, $30 or something, just to bring that price point down. If it was say $20 or $30 cheaper, then 100% I'd recommend it for sure. That's in New Zealand money, by the way. If it was in you know, US money, I'd say maybe $10, $15 then cheaper. I would start considering it then. So yeah, just the price point a little bit lower, and then yeah, I could really recommend them. But overall, yeah, they're pretty good. So I think they're quite decent. Now, let's going to end this video, but I want to give a question to you guys, Elliot. Would you like me to do a peripherals video where I tell you guys, it's just my opinion, on what peripherals I'd recommend for you, like what keyboard's good, what mouse is good, what headset. I could maybe do, maybe not speakers so much because I haven't really tested many of them, and we've already done a video about the screens. But yeah, like mouse pads, all that, just as a general idea of video, would you guys like to see that? Would you like to see my opinion on different peripherals or what I'd recommend to consumers, since I've tested quite a few right now? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already, so you catch my videos as soon as they drop. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.